Hi everyone, my name is Emily Gentry.
I'm McKenna Altman.
And I am DeAnna Zavala.
And today we're going to talk about our journal article and then some technology that we found might help with the strategies that were given in our journal article. So our article was called Stop the Silence, How to Create a Strategically Social Classroom. And basically the entire article was talking about how to add social components into your mathematics classroom. So the article really focused on a statistics classroom. And so one of the first problems that they talked about was a jump rope data problem. And the students were asked to kind of create visual displays of their data and then to get with a partner who had a different display than they did and kind of compare and contrast what the different displays looked like. And so from that, they were trying to get students to see the different data displays have different interpretations. And so they were very intentional with that. And then kind of similarly with the second problem that they did, they asked students to kind of think about a real world problem with their grades and to talk about whether grading based on the mean, the mode, or the range of their grades would be the best option. And so the entire article just really argued in favor of adding social learning into the classroom because they thought that, you know, students really benefited from it and they gained a sense of confidence talking about mathematics.
As a whole, our group really enjoyed the article, mostly because it did have a very strong social element to it and encouraging teachers to look outside, think outside the box in terms of social interactions within their classrooms, but also the specific lessons that the authors used in reference to social interactions, specifically the jumping rope exercise that Emily talked about. Was basically the students were given the freedom to choose the format and choose the way that they wanted to display their data that they found during the problem, which we thought was really cool because there was a diverse way of thinking about showing and showcasing the data that was found within the problem. Some were using dot plots and graphs and bar graphs and all sorts of things. So whenever the students were given that freedom, they were also encouraged to have meaningful discussions about the differences between those graphs and between their data displays and how those can differentiate the mathematic concepts and what they found within the math problems. And it also facilitated a lot of meaningful discussions about mathematic concepts and vocabulary.
So for adding a technology component to the lesson, what we thought we could do is add technology to the social interaction aspect rather than to the teaching aspect. Obviously, you can add technology to every part of it, but the technology aspects that we want to add are to when students are discussing the math concepts that they've already learned. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a few different ways that you can add technology. And so the first one that we have here is this Padlet website. And so as a teacher, all you would have is a Padlet link. You would log on to padlet.com and create a page. That's what I did in literally like 30 seconds. And then Emily and McKenna both and I all made a quick comment on here. And you can actually comment on each other's posts. You can look at it. You can see that there's a photo posted, there's a GIF posted, and then mine was just a comment. And so as students are discussing, as students are thinking about what they learned in math, they could always go ahead and fill out a comment on here and interact with each other. And so that was the social component that we really liked as far as adding technology in. Other options are using Edmodo. I'm not as familiar with Edmodo as I am with Padlet, but there are multiple options that our group kind of discovered as going through it. And so one option was that you can invite parents onto Edmodo, so that might be a better route for the younger grades. Maybe they need extra help when they're answering a problem or when responding to a classmate. And so inviting a parent to be able to monitor the student's work is a great option, especially right now during the whole virtual learning world. You can also access the calendar, and then you can also have discussions with one another, kind of just like we have on Canvas as a discussion post. And so here's an example of just a discussion board that Emily and I have on our Canvas. And so this is a similar route that you could take on Edmodo as well. And then lastly, the third option for technology that we discussed was implementing Flipgrid into our Teaching for Discussions. And obviously we used Flipgrid this semester in our math class. And so you can always use Flipgrid to just talk with each other and respond to each other, is something that we did in a lot of our classes as well. So yeah, that's our presentation, and this is the technology aspect that we added.